Good afternoon. My name is Yuhas, and this presentation is for my NOS110 class. Today we'll be taking a look through which is essentially Windows 8.1. But we really have to ask ourselves, is it really new and improved? Microsoft came up with the idea that with everything going and assimilating to smart technology, that they wanted to generate a start menu that was like your Android or iPhone, or like it is on your smart television. This is great, and I like the fact that it has visible icons that you can click on instead of trying to sort through a list of program names. But the only problem is if you have earlier versions of 8.1 or Windows 8 and you don't have touchscreen, then you still have to use this mouse, and for that instance it's just easier to go through your standard start menu that was utilized like in Windows 7. There's a lot of key features to the new start menu, and that it has an easy to use Microsoft email app. It is essentially like Outlook. I still prefer Outlook compared to this, but you are able to utilize it just the same. There's also a virtual calendar and planner, weather app, Skype, Netflix, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Amazon, eBay, and you even have an iCookbook on there. I love to cook, and I tell you, I use this iCookbook a lot. It's a lot. The one thing I like about it is it utilizes a lot of web pages and brings it all together in this iCookbook. Now let's take a look at the new desktop. As you can see right here at the bottom left hand of the picture, you'll see there's a window icon that's essentially your new start button. If you click on that, it takes you to that new start screen. Great, fine, that functions great. Still allows you to pin important tasks and important programs at the bottom of your screen for one-click launch. Another thing I like about Windows 8.1 and 8 is that the System Manager is a lot easier to utilize. Now let's start looking at some of the features that I really like about Windows 8 and 8.1 that is brought to you with this new type of environment that it's trying to utilize. I watch a lot of Netflix and Hulu. I absolutely despise cable, and I think they charge way too much for it. Well, if you have a good internet connection, you can utilize Netflix and Hulu and essentially do away with cable altogether. The one thing I like is you have an easy to click Netflix button, and the Hulu button is just the same as you will see here. You launch it, and it launches essentially when you go, if you don't have an account or you go to sign up, but once you log into it, it launches just like it would on a smartphone, an iPhone, or on a smart television. One of the better things I think they did with the launch of 8 and 8.1 is they launched Office 2013 at the same time. This became really important because of the fact that Windows 8 and 8.1 utilizes Microsoft iCloud a lot. And you have that same automation essentially with Windows Office 2013. You do have to purchase the Office 365 to be able to have a lot of the extended functions, but with just 2013 in itself, you can get some of the stuff that you can through 365. With Word, it's the same easy to use program, but like I said, you got the importance. Say you want to do a resume, you're an IT professional. A standard resume isn't going to offer you the layout to really present you well. Well, with the iCloud, with the Microsoft iCloud, you can go in and you can find one specifically for you being an IT professional. Excel, they added suggested math algorithms, so that way it's easier to sum, subtract. Say it takes a particular algorithm to get the answer you want, like you need to do a percentage of something. It's a lot easier to actually figure out and key in the math problems because it'll write a suggestive line. If you're not exactly sure, you want to add a sum of lines or get the average of a set of lines, or you can do that a lot easier now. Microsoft PowerPoint has really come a long way since its first inception. One of the key features that I like is you were able to use add-ins before, but usually it was from a Microsoft Office application. Access, Word, PowerPoint. You had to usually utilize one of those before. Well, now they added in that where you can do third-party add-ins. Essentially what I'm doing right now to record this presentation. You also have additional formatting capability. You're not just stranded. You can add in 3D playable objects, which was a lot harder to do before. And really with the previous version of Office beginning to utilize, but with 2013, they've mastered it, and now it's a lot easier to do. The nice thing about PowerPoint is if you had a really good ability to use PowerPoint before, the transitions between older versions of 2013 is a lot easier, and they made a lot less steps in making things possible. Now we come into Access 2013. They've made great strides to improve 2013 as far as its ease of use. They've added more things you can do with it and made it more easy to generate databases, web apps, contact lists, and it's just all around easier to use. What we're going to do right now is we're going to start taking a look at some of these programs I talked about. What we're going to do is we're going to go into our initial start button. The icon's right here at the bottom left, just like your start button on Windows 7 and older versions. Now let's take here. We've got Hulu and Netflix. Currently I'm not logged into any of them, so I'm not going to launch them. But once you get past the launch screen, it's exactly like it is on your smart television. Office. All the icons are in a general standard working area. Excel, Access, PowerPoint, OneNote. All of them are right here. And if you know what each one looks like for Word, especially, or any of them that you generally use, you just have to look for the W, the X for the Excel, the A for Access, the N for Notebook, and P for PowerPoint, just as you did before, but it's easy to see. When you come in here and look through the All Apps button, it gives you a general list. You have your Apple Software Store, Amazon, Adobe. They're listed A to Z. Or you want to look for it through the manufacturer, like different games. I use CC Cleaner quite a bit, so I have that listed there. Another thing too is all your Microsoft Office are listed under Microsoft Office. My spy bot that I utilize, I can look for it by the manufacturer. This is really important because when you had to go through the old start menu, you had to look, well, it might be under Systems Tools or something like that. Well, it's a lot easier to find now. Let's go back to our desktop here and start taking a look through some of our programs. I mentioned before that we're IT professionals. A standard resume search will not work. What we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to search for resumes. Well, what this is going to do is it's going to look through the Microsoft iCloud, and it's going to pull up a whole set of base outlines for resumes. So we got a basic resume, chronological resume, median theme. But we're IT professionals. We want something that's generated towards us. So let's see if we can find one here. Okay. I can't find the IT resume real quick. But one thing I do have is I have the IT resume right here on the system. We're going to open that up so you can take a look at it. As you can see, it's a lot more functional for an IT professional. This isn't standard in any way, shape, or form. So I found it by using that search engine. Now, let's take a look at Microsoft Excel. Once again, if you have a specific template you want to search for, all you got to do is type it up here in the search bar, and it'll search the Microsoft iCloud. I have the 365 version, which allows me a larger variety to search from. We're going to go right into a standard looking one. You can change your languages. You can go right to the team button if you're working with somebody. If you want to view it get a straight out view, you can. Well, let's start right here at home. One of the key things that I found was, say you need to sum something up. Well, if you click on that, it puts the sum in the box in the window. Well, say you need to sum up a series of lines. All you gotta do is point to the corner, and you can click. It's a little difficult to do until you get used to it, but you can actually highlight a whole end of fields. But as you can see, say I want to do a whole row, you can do a whole row. It's as simple as that. We're not going to save that one. Now let's go into PowerPoint. As I was saying, with the add-ins, you can see I'm utilizing the program using to record this right now as one of my add-in features. You can add in other things such as a set of Excel spreadsheets, pages from Microsoft Word, or you can utilize whatever third-party add-in you want to, as long as it's designed to work with Microsoft PowerPoint. Now let's take a look at Access. We'll give it a quick launch here. As you can see, I can pin it right to my bar and launch. There's tons of things that you can create with Microsoft Access. If there isn't one here, you can search for other online templates. Contacts list, project management. There's so many things you can do with this, and it's made it a lot easier than what it was before. This is my presentation in the Microsoft Windows 8 and 8.1. I hope you enjoyed it and you were able to learn about some things that you liked or did not like about the program. Overall, I think it is a great success, although I wish I had touchscreen so that way I can flip my screen back and I don't have to mess with my keyboard to try and utilize like my Netflix and a lot of the touch button functions of Windows 8.1. I hope you liked my presentation, and I will be posting more in the future for you to take a look at. Thank you for your time.